I love value for money, so today I wanted to try food from some of Britain's most expensive shops to see if it's actually worth the hefty price tag.
70 quid for a box of chocolates.
I'll be starting out at familiar high street chains and gradually getting more expensive until we reach the holy grail, Harrods.
First up, we're heading to Marks and Spencer's, which is at the bottom of that list. Now, you know things are going to get pretty pricey today when Marks and Spencer's are at the bottom of the list. I'm going to try and find something around the £10 region. Maybe have like a £10 sausage roll that's sort of ridiculously priced. I don't know. Let's go. Right, I'm back from Marks and Spencer's. I didn't manage to find a £10 sausage roll. I ended up going for honey, which was £14. A little jar of honey, 14 quid. But it's not just any honey. Oh no. It is New Zealand Manuaku honey. What does that mean? Perfect thickly spread on whole grain toast. I've just so happened to get some whole grain toast. Now, I don't know if I've ever had honey before, to be honest with you. I can't remember. Don't know, don't care. So we're going to try some on some toast here. We're going to see if it's worth £14. I think I know the answer already. It didn't even pop. I was wanting a pop sound. What's it smell of? Oh no, I don't like the smell of that already. 14 quid I've spent on this. It's on me already. This is bee juice, isn't it, honey? This is straight from the rectum. I don't know, where's this come from? Bees do something with the pollen, and then they shove it in the hive, and then the hive honey and that. It's quite snotty, I think is the technical term. 14 quid. This is about £2.50 on me knife right now. Right, is that thick enough for you? Yeah? Okay, I can smell it coming off it. I don't like that at all. Right, here we go. 14 quid. Is it worth it? That's the big question we're trying to answer here as we go up the food chain. That's really peculiar. And bees make that. I need to put more on. Oh Jesus, that's about a £5. Oh no. Yeah, that should do it. It's like a swamp now. Oh no. I don't know what it tastes of. But I tell you now, there is no way that is worth 14 quid. It better has a taste. I've lathered it on. Forget flying in from New Zealand. Waste of time. I hope there's more stuff than just honey on that plane. If that was just a plane full of honey, I'd be advocating it get shot down. I mean, it's alright, but it's so subtle. It's sort of pointless that it's on there in the first place. I feel as if I could make that taste with my own saliva, but you wouldn't pay 14 quid for it. I'd probably pay £3.50, because if you're into your honey, then that's probably really nice. I don't really get honey. I don't really get the point of it. For me, this 14 quid jar is just like a whatever. Right, okay, so I've been to Waitrose, and do you know what? Even though it's obviously expensive in there, and the same with Marks and Spencer's, expensive in there, I was sort of struggling to find something that was outrageously expensive. But what I did find is some sushi for £13. £13. Now, in all fairness, you do get quite a bit for it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it is outrageous, but it's not the same level of outrageous that we're going to see from the other shops. I mean, that's what we're working with. It looks alright. Yeah, it looks like sushi really, doesn't it? This all looks a bit different to the sushi I usually have. I usually get my sushi from Tesco's. Right, £13 worth of sushi, here goes. Let's start off with the seaweed one. Oh god, what have I just eaten? I think it's avocado. I was expecting it to be cucumber. Oh god, it doesn't taste that good. It doesn't even taste fresh or cold or anything. It's just slimy. Eating something else now. Don't even know what this is, but eating it. That's really disappointing. I mean, look, it's not horrific, but for 13 quid, you expect, you know, fresh. Just tastes like they found it down the side of the sofa. I prefer the sort of yo sushi stuff you can get from Tesco's. Oh, no, it's spicy as well. Quick, how do I open it? Oh, it's spicy. That is spicy. That is spicy. I didn't realise that was spice on it. No. That was really disappointing. I was genuinely looking forward to that as well. I tell you, if I was on a deserted island and this is the only thing I'd left, I'm dead. I'm dead. So that was a disappointment. Jesus. Honestly, that sushi was absolutely disgusting. It's like I was eating someone else's snot. Right, next up we're going to go to John Lewis. Right, I went to John Lewis and I didn't realise how expensive the stuff in there actually was. I'm starting to think maybe it should be higher up the rankings. I actually hate myself. What have I done? There was a bag of gold chocolate coins for 12 quid. You may as well give actual money at that point. Anyway, I've spent, and I can't believe this, £19.50 on caramelised biscuit thins. But then when I've looked closer, it says something about milk chocolate. So I don't know if I bought chocolate thins or whether I bought biscuit thins. I don't know. Either way, £19.50 for this little thing. This, look, £19.50. 20 quid. This is just stupid. How do you get in? £19.50. Give me a break. Look at them. Look, £19.50. £19.50. Is it a biscuit? Is it a chocolate? Let's find out. I give up. I give up. It's just chocolate. It's literally a thin slice of chocolate. It has a little bit of biscuitiness in there with some caramelizedness as well. I can't believe how small that is. Let me show, for a size comparison, my phone is bigger. You're paying 20 quid for that. That's what you're paying 20 quid for. Each one of these little things here, £1 for each one. They're just giant chocolate buttons. I actually hate myself. I mean, what's the brand? Charbonnel Walker, manufacturers of chocolates to Her Majesty the Queen. She's dead, by the way. She's been dead a while. It's basically a mini glasses case for your chocolates. I got one of these from Specsavers. There is no way anybody can say that's 20 quid. When I say they barely have a taste, I mean it. I don't have any words for that. Right, on to the next one. Pretty sure this is Selfridges, I think. I don't really know. Obviously I've never been before. They look well out of place, clearly. I don't know if they sell food, I assume they do. I mean, this is a bit glamorous, isn't it? A bit out of my depth. Right, okay, I've just got back from Selfridges. The first time I've ever been to a Selfridges before. I don't know if it's just in London or if it's a chain, I don't know, I don't care. Now, to be fair to Selfridges, yes, it's very expensive, obviously, but when it came to the food section, I was actually struggling a little bit to try and find something in the price region that I was looking for originally. But then I came across cocoa, dusted milk, chocolate, caramelised, pistachios. They're nuts basically, in a little tin. £23 for some nuts. Don't know if I'm into nuts really, I don't really sort of care about them, to be honest. Okay, it's a tin of nuts, 23 quid. Have a look at my nuts, lovely. Yeah, it's just sort of nuts covered in chocolate that I've spent 23 quid on. You actually don't know the pain of this. I decided to do the video idea, but this is a painful to actually spend the money. Let's try one of them then. So we're eating pistachios here. Pistachios, cocoa powder. Don't know, let's just eat one. Okay, right, let's start with the obvious. They're not worth 23 quid. Let's get that out there. They were never going to be. Considering I've never had anything like this before, wouldn't really consider myself to be massive on nuts, I don't really care either way. They're actually quite nice. Can't really taste the nut, it's just like a crunchy chocolate ball. There's a little bit of nut coming through now. They are actually quite nice, these. I wouldn't spend £23 on them. Sort of like an £8.99 gift for your dad or your mum. You know, nuts aren't sexist. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to criticise the food there actually, because it does taste alright. I actually say it's a good 7.9, 8 out of 10. They're just not worth 23 quid. You're paying the £23 for the word Selfridges and Co. on the side. I could quite happily eat these if someone else paid for them. I honestly must have spent like 45 minutes walking around Selfridges though. I just couldn't pick anything. The last time I did this video. So yeah, credit where credit's due. You've made some good chocolate covered nuts there. Right, up next I'm going to go to Harvey Nichols and try and find myself something a little bit pricier this time. Let's go. Right then, so I'm back from Harvey Nichols and I've got this big bag. It's a bit much this, isn't it? You know it's a fancy bag when it's got really unnecessarily long string. Don't need to be that long really, does it? You can have it shorter than that. That would have been enough. They've even closed up the bag with a little bow as well, just so no one can slip the hand in while you're walking about. It was like a scene from Love Actually, honestly, the way it was all done. It took about 10 minutes just like wrapping it up and stuff. I like to shove it in the bag. Anyway, I decided to go in there and buy a chocolate bear. Not just any chocolate bear, it's Edward the bear. Now this is made by Charbonnel Walker again. Now this little thing cost me a grand total of £45. 45 quid on a chocolate bear. Who's spending 45 quid at all? Just like in general, like in life. Never mind on like on a gift, on a present. I mean, how mental do you have to be? You are a moron. Like actually a moron if you're spending 45 quid on a chocolate gift. It says, introducing Edward, this adorable milk chocolate teddy bear has a very special place in our hearts. No, it doesn't. It's a cash cow. Basically, it's a teddy bear made from milk and dark chocolate. The end. Let's open it. I think it should open like a door like that way, but that's just me. Instead, I'm opening it like a coffin or something. Ta-da! Yeah, it's a chocolate teddy bear. And what I've noticed is, already, straight off the back, there's a bit of chocolate at the bottom. This really is like I'm over a coffin right now. Just as I went to pull this out, I realised it's disappointingly thick. I was expecting this to be a bit deeper than it is. I thought it'd be a bit of a fatter bear. This one's clearly been on a diet. He's basically got a six-pack. He's got abs, this one. No, that's fur. Sorry, my mistake. That is fur, it's not abs. I mean, that's not great, is it? It's very inclusive, though. I'm missing a foot. Now, look, it's a nice box. Very well presented. The sort of thing that your nan goes, oh, should we keep that box? No, chuck it in the bin. What are you going to do with it? Put my sewing kit in there. No, you won't. I just realised there's dust all over this table. That's a bit embarrassing. Look, it's not the sort of thing you're going to sleep with at night, but it would melt. How do we undo his little bow? It's a bit obnoxious, really, that, isn't it? So let's undress you you. It feels a bit noob now, bit of a flat ass. Now there is only one way to be able to try Edward the bear, and we all know how this is done. So we just decapitate him. Decapitated him. Right, let's try some of Edward the bear. Yeah, it's just chocolate. I mean, it's nice chocolate. Slightly better than like an Easter egg chocolate, slightly. I mean, spending 45 quid for that, just because it looks like a teddy bear. And it's got a little ribbon wrapped around it and stuff. And oh, it's cute and all that. It's a bit much for me. 45 quid on a bit of chocolate. Do you realise how mental that is? 45 quid for chocolate. Just because it's in the shape of a little bear. Little stupid head. Yeah, it's just chocolate. Looks like JFK now. But look, it's nice chocolate. I just don't get why it has to be all dressed up in a ribbon in a fancy box and stuff. There's no need for chocolate to be stored in this. They really just feel like it's for people with more money than sense. You know, you can pop to the shops and you can get a little sort of chocolate bear thing, can't you? And usually what, a few quid, 5 quid maybe, I don't know. I just don't get it. People buying it for like the status of the brand. I mean, I've never even heard of the brand. I don't know what the brand is. Maybe you've heard of it, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why anyone would ever buy that. At the end of the day, all that's going to happen is it's going to get eaten. It's not going to be very nice to look at for that long, is it? So yeah, look, I'd probably pay 12 quid, maybe 15 maximum if you take into account the box. It's definitely not a 45 quid gift, let's face it. And if you thought this was bad, up next we have the most outrageous of all of the gifts. We're going to go to Harrods, the most expensive shop in the UK. But first, that requires a trip down to London.
Thank you for travelling with LNER.
Be destroyed.
Here it is. Right, okay, gonna go in. Very, very out of place. Let's go. There is no way I belong here. I must leave. I've spent up. Time to go home. Right, here we go. It's the big one. Went to Harrods. What I bought from Harrods in this fancy bag. And within this fancy bag is a fancy box. I don't know how you actually open this, to be honest with you. Pull this off, okay. So I went to Harrods and I looked around all different food places and there's some very expensive stuff in there. But I found a box of chocolates for £69. 70 quid on a box of chocolates. You get 32 chocolates inside. I actually can't believe that. That's so outrageous. £69 on a box of chocolates. I've got to leave, got to get out of here. So let's take a look. Okay, I can't. How do you open it? Oh, it's opening. Oh God. Oh no. It's got a menu. Yeah, I can't be bothered. Oh. That's not it, is it? It's just got to be another layer. How do I interact with this? It's like your nan when she gets a smartphone. I don't even interact with it. There is a second layer, I think. Come here, you stupid thing. Get in. So there's 32 chocolates for £69. Oh, I guess I better eat them then. 70 quid for a box of chocolates. That's more than double the amount that my shoes cost. Right then, here's the top layer. I know I've criticised too early on here, but they don't exactly look particularly fancy. They don't look any different to what you'd get in like a box of Thorntons or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see any reason for it to be 69 quid aside from some wood. We made something like that in DT, I'm sure we did. What would happen though in DT is everyone was useless at it, and so you just leave it till the end of the lesson and your teacher would just finish it off for you and you'd go home. Anyway, back to the chocolates. So this little chocolate that's basically the size of a Malteser, more than £2 just for one. It better be good. So I just had the nougatine, Mandel Gianduja nougat. Is this in a foreign language? Honestly, I'm lost. I've never been lost on a chocolate menu before. Not really that good, to be honest. It got stuck in my teeth. How is that 70 quid? That is the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. Honestly, I'm tempted to go get my money back. So they're all pralines and truffles. Ladderach Carré. I feel like I'm doing spells in Harry Potter. It's just a chocolate. It's not even a good one. Honestly, being completely genuine with you here, you are better off getting Lindt Lindor chocolates. They taste better than this. And what, you can get them for what, 4 quid? Get a box for free on your birthday. They're actually really average. Wow, I'm shocked. Look, I knew they'd be overpriced. I knew that obviously, but I did not expect them to be actually just average chocolates. I thought they'd be fancy or something, but no, it's just in a wooden box you'd make in DT. That's really, really shocked me. I was not expecting that. I'm now devastated on 2 levels. I spent 70 quid and the chocolates are just average. I can't believe it. I feel like I'm going mental here. How can they all be so average? To be fair, I've not tried them all, but I've tried 2 now and they've You see, that white chocolate one was alright. It was okay, that was a truffle I think. But none of them blow my socks off. I just can't believe it. I can't believe that. Things you can do is 70 quid. They're just your box standard chocolates that you buy for, you know, at a gift. It's a bit of a depressing end actually, is that? Because they are so bad. So I think what we learned from that is that buying more expensive stuff doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better or value for money. Don't feel like you have to go for the fancy stuff that you don't need to. Honestly, you don't need to. It's a waste of money, doesn't make you any happier. And on that jolly note, goodbye.